Hi, this is Alexis from the Kiteboarder magazine. I'm here at the RRD booth with Adam. How you doing, sir?
Good.
You've got some great looking boards for this season. Let's walk through them.
Okay, we'll start off with your freeride board. The board that's really unchanged from last year, 2013. It's carryover into 2014. This is your freeride board. This is your RRD Placebo. It's quite a nice looking board, and it's going to have your standard construction. I don't want to go into too much detail because there's not many changes with this board into the next board, but I would just say that this is an all-around performer. They've had it in their line for a very, very long time, and it's
a standard stock.
Right. It's the outline, the shape, and the performance of this board. You're really going to get just really awesome in the chop, and it's definitely a great way to get introduced into the sport of kiteboarding, and it's really awesomely priced.
Forgiving too, very forgiving.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then so this board too is this is going to be made in your standard factory. I'll show the other boards in the lineup. Everything else that I'll show you is actually being made in Italy. So this is coming from China. Everything else is actually made in Italy with the new technology, which I'll go through now. So moving from your general freeride board, we're going to get into the RRD Bliss, which is your freeride and freestyle board. So if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, then you can move into the Bliss. So this board, I would say it's exceptional for freeride because of its outline, and then it has some low impact tips. You're going to avoid a lot of spray in the face. This board is going to perform exceptionally well in choppy conditions. Just a smooth, comfortable ride. Like I said, this board is made in Italy. You can tell when the boards are made in Italy. They all have this stamp. And what they're doing now with these types of boards, they're higher performing boards, is they're all made with pre-preg fibers, so it's pre-impregnated fiberglass. The epoxy is actually with the fiberglass, comes out in a sheet. So what the benefit of that is that you're gonna have a lot less excess. And with a lot of that excess, you're gonna have a really thin board. So if you look at that, you have a very tight rail.
Very razor thin.
Right, it's very, very thin, and then the flex pattern that you get with this technology is pretty incredible. And after they get it all laid up, they put it into an autoclave, which is just like a pressure cooker. And then the factory in Italy that has this autoclave, they also make aeronautic parts, and they make Formula One race parts in carbon. So these boards are being made
to the bottom of this beautiful board.
Board. In a way that no other boards on the market are made, and I think that it's very obvious when you get on this to tell that they're different from the rest. So that's the RRD Bliss. Again, if you're going to push it, you want to start really moving into the freestyle world. If you're progressing in your riding, you're going to find that this is going to push back, and it's going to excel in that division. Getting more aggressive, you're a really dedicated freestyle rider, you're on the obsession, you just want to go huge and push your limits, you can move on to the style. And this is the style Biax, so you can tell it's pretty extravagant. It's very bold in its colorways. And the style Biax, they have a style, a limited V2, and it's made with Dynanitex carbon on the top and bottom, and it's very stiff. And it pops huge, but I would say it's not for every rider because it's so stiff. So you could feel it on the knees, and I mean, it's not for everybody. Some people have more choppy conditions, and that's where the Biax comes in. So this is going to be for most of your riders. I would say for most of the people out there that want to do freestyle and that they're in normal conditions, not butter, flat water, perfect conditions all the time, then the Biax is going to be the way to go. It has the same outline, so you can notice from the Bliss it has wider tips. It has a much flatter scoop rocker line, and it has pretty decent amount of concave. It's the same shape and outline as the style. It performs very similar. You're just not going to have the carbon, so it's more forgiving. And you lose a little bit of pop, but you gain a tremendous amount of comfort. You could stay out there longer and keep your riding going. So we have the Biax, and then moving from that, the other board that we're going to have that's made in Italy is for those marginal days. We're going to move on to the BS 45. So you can tell it's a lightweight board. It's a big guy, 145 by 45. This is the BS 45 Pro. Now they also have a BS 45. So the difference between the two, the BS 45 it's going to have slightly less rocker and slightly less concave, so it can get you planing sooner. It's a little bit, it's slightly better, and you're going to be able to have a more low end on this. For bigger guys or for people that want a board that's going to more performance like me, I would prefer this because I want to go out in light wind and I still want to do my tricks.
Right.
You know, just because it's light doesn't mean I can't have fun. And in 10 knots, I'm unhooking and doing some passes, and you know, it's exceptionally, it's really, I mean, a good way to get into it. So for bigger riders or for super marginal conditions, I prefer the Pro because it has more performance, a little more drag. So the BS45 is going to be an ideal light wind board. And again, this is made in Italy. It's made with the pre-peg fibers, and it's just really one of a kind. I encourage you to find your local shop. And if you would like to know more about these boards, you can go to RobertoRicciDesigns.com.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.